and we're doing 3-1, which is on parallel lines and transversals. So these are new words that I don't think any of you have had or heard before. So we're just going to start from the beginning. We are actually starting with the concept I do think you're familiar with, which is parallel. That is anything that doesn't intersect. So we can have planes that are parallel, which are just planes that don't intersect. And then we can have lines that are parallel. There are essentially 3 things a line can do. 1, they can intersect, and if they intersect, then they must be on the same plane. 2, if they do not intersect, there are 2 options. They're either parallel or skew. Parallel is what I've already mentioned. Oh, I don't know how that happened. I've already mentioned today. Lines are parallel if they are coplanar and they don't intersect. So parallel lines never ever cross, and they have to exist on the same plane. The third option is skew lines, and skew lines mean that they are non-coplanar and they do not intersect. They're non-coplanar and they do not intersect. Okay, so we're going to do some examples with that. I hope that you've heard those kind of terms before. I'm like looking around kind of weird because I thought I had a tissue box, but I don't have one in my house, unlike at school. But I have this kind of like cool shaped thing right here on my desk. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got a lot of different sides. If they are parallel, it would be like 2 of these lines that are on like the same side. Actually, I don't have any parallel lines because these are all triangles that do not intersect. If they are non-coplanar, they'd be on different planes. So like one would be like up here and then one would be like on the bottom shape. If they never intersect, like these 2 lines right here would never cross and they're not parallel. So that is what skew looks like. I'll see if I can find one in a box of something in a second. That might help you if you need a visual. If you don't, then we're doing okay. The visual I do have is this kind of triangular prism shape. It looks either like a doorstop or like one of those cartoon like wedges of cheese, I guess. And so we're going to practice on here. So we need to name some parallel segments, planes, and non-parallel planes, and some skew segments. So I'm going to need some help. Can anybody name 2 parallel planes for me?
OQ and NP.
Give me a couple more letters. Give me 3 letters for each one.
I don't know.
For a plane. Good. Okay, I think what, Nolan, you gave me parallel lines. So I'll actually write that down while we're thinking about it. Parallel segments, you said OQ and NP. So that was letter C. OQ and NP are parallel. So we'll write that in letter C. Those are parallel segments. And while we're here, can someone else give me another pair of parallel segments? It's another pair.
NO and PQ.
Good. NO and PQ. Thank you, Kamara. Okay, that's all we'll look for. We had to name 2. There's a lot more on there, so if you saw 2 others, that's fine. Now I need parallel planes, so 2 planes that exist. So like I need 3 letters to represent a plane. What is one example? Can somebody help me?
MON and RPQ.
NOM and RPQ. Thank you, Billy. So NOM and I'm going to say PQR. You can also use the symbol of the 2 lines. That means that they're parallel. So if you ever see this, that means that they're parallel. So I could also use that. Awesome, thank you. So we got the idea of parallel going on pretty easily. Now I want to name 2 planes that are not parallel. Who can name me 2 planes that are not parallel? Someone I haven't heard from.
MNO and MOQ.
MNO and POQ. Yep, that's the
Yeah.
top face. Very good. Thank you, Kate. That's the top face and then the front face. They connect at that NO. So those cannot be parallel planes. So NMO and PNO. Good. Can someone give me another one of planes that are not parallel? One more example.
RQO and PQR.
RQO and NQR. Those two?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. The side and then the bottom face, they connect at that RQ, so they are not parallel. Very good. Thank you, Ella. MOQ, and we'll say PRQ. Awesome. So we've done examples of parallel. We've done examples of non-parallel with planes. We did examples of parallel segments. Now we're going to do examples of skew segments. So they are not parallel and they are not intersecting. Let's see. Who can help me with that? Who can give me an example of skew lines?
Would OQ and MN be?
OQ and NM. Yeah, those would be. So one's like the side face and then one's like the top over here. They'll never, ever, ever cross and they are not on the same plane. Very good. Thank you, Ella. OQ and NM. I'm looking for another pair. Who else can help me?
NP and M.
NP and then what else?
MO.
MO. Okay, good. You cut off on that last letter. Yes, very good. Thank you, Abby. NP and MO. Again, that's one vertical one and one horizontal one. They never cross. They're not on the same plane. So I'm going to write those down. NP and MO. Very good. All right, thanks for helping me. All right, now I'm going to learn or teach you guys a new word. It's called a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines in a plane at different points. So if I'm looking at this picture right here, this line, this one line that intersects two other lines, it crosses this line and it crosses that line, that is called my transversal. One line crosses two or more other lines. When it crosses two lines, it forms 8 different angles, and I have them all labeled over here. This is all new information, and it's on the quiz that's on Thursday, so make sure everybody's with me. So we have this transversal, and now I've got some different relationships with my angles that I can talk about. The first thing I'm going to talk about is something called the interior angles. So interior angles are everything that's inside the two lines that are crossed by the transversal. So everything is in here is in my interior. So that means angles 1 and 2 and 5 and 6 are all interior angles. Okay. Now I also have exterior angles, which are all on the outside. So my exterior angles are all outside the two lines that are crossed by the transversal. So I've got exterior over here with 4 and 3, and I have exterior down here with 7 and 8. All right, now comes the relationship. So I just told you about interior and exterior. I also have the alternate versus consecutive. If I'm talking about alternate angles, they are on opposite sides of my transversal. So I'm going to start with alternate interior angles. Those are on opposite sides of my transversal, but they are on the interior of the two lines. If I'm looking at my picture, I have 1, 2, 5, and 6 are all interior angles, and alternate interior, so on opposite sides of the transversal, an example would be 1 and 6. So 1 and 6 are an example of alternate interior angles. Can someone give me the other example of alternate interior angles here?
Two and five.
2 and 5, very good. Thank you, Eli. Angle 2 and angle 5. So they are interior and they are on opposite sides. All right, I'll do the highlighter in a second. All right, now I'm gonna do, while I'm on the interior, we're gonna do something called consecutive. Consecutive means that they're on the same side. This word right here is consecutive, and it means that they're on the same side, or I like to think of as like next to each other. So if they are consecutive interior, then they are on the same side of the transversal because they are next to each other on the interior. So I'll give you an example. I'll say 1 and 5 are consecutive interior angles. What's the other set of consecutive interior angles?
2 and 6.
2 and 6, very good, Jane. 2 and 6. Again, they're both on the interior and they're both opposite each other. Very good. Okay, so those were our 2 types of interior angles. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing with exterior. They mean the exact same thing, but now it's just in the blue part, the exterior. So alternate exterior angles would be angles that are in the exterior and they're on opposite sides of the transversal. Could someone give me an example of an alternate exterior angles?
Three and 7.
3 and 7, very good, Ella. 3 and 7 are both alternate exterior because they're on opposite sides and they're in the blue, the exterior. Can somebody else give me the other example?
4 and 8.
4 and 8, very good, Lydia. 3 and 7 and 4 and 8. Awesome. And then one more that's following this pattern is the consecutive exterior angles. Again, it's an exterior angle, so it's outside of the lines and it's on the same side as the transversal. What are my examples of that?
Four and 7.
4 and 7, very good, Kamara. 4 and 7 works. And then what's my other example? Somebody new, Kamara, just help me. Somebody new.
3 and 8.
3 and 8, very good. I don't know who that was. You didn't pop up. Tell me who you are.
That was Sam.
Sam, thank you, Sam. 4 and 7 and 3 and 8. Sorry, I like to say your guys' names and appreciate you helping me out. So, all right, I've had a lot of people help me on these, which is great. The last one is a little bit confusing because it's not like alternate interior or consecutive exterior. It's called corresponding, and it's essentially one interior and one exterior that are in the same spot. So I'm going to write one interior and one exterior, and they're in what we call the same position. So let's look at what that is. I know I did all of that highlighting, but that's okay. If I'm looking at angle 4, technically in its little like 4 angles that it's in like the top left-hand side. It's like above it's on the exterior, and it's also like on the left side of the transversal. Its corresponding angle would also be on the top left of its pair. So if I'm looking at these 4 angles, the angle on the top left, so the one that would be on top of the line would be 5 or 6, and then the one that's on the left is angle 5. 4 and 5 are essentially in the same spot of their like angle groups. So we call those corresponding angles. Can someone give me another pair of corresponding angles?
2 and 8.
2 and 8. Thank you, Abby. 2 and 8 works. What's another?
3 and 6.
3 and 6. Thank you, Kate. And then what's the last one?
1 and 7.
1 and 7. Thank you, Ella. I heard someone else trying to answer. Awesome. It sounds like a lot of us are understanding this. I do think corresponding is the hardest, but if you remember 1 interior, 1 exterior, then we should be good. All right, let me go write all my pairs down here. I had 4 and 7. Nope, I didn't have 4 and 7. I had 4 and 5. I had 1 and 7. There we go. And then I had 3 and 6. And I had 2 and 8. All right. Okay, any questions on what we've done so far? Okay, now we're gonna go to the back and we're gonna do some more practice. I wanna get through all of this, and if we have some extra time, we'll do some extra practice, but if not, the top part is most important. So I've talked to a lot of you guys, and I'm gonna ask for help from somebody who I haven't heard from. So if I need to call on you, I will. If not, go ahead and speak up. You guys are doing a great job of sharing the burden. What's happening here is I have 2 lines. I've got R and T, and then I've got 2 other lines, L and M. I'm going to ask you to identify the transversal and the angle relationship based on the angle type I give you. So like the first angles I give you are 1 and 12. So if I go find 1 and 12, I want to know what the transversal is, and I want to know how 1 and 12 are related. Are they corresponding angles? Are they alternate interior? Are they alternate exterior? Are they consecutive interior? Are they consecutive exterior? So those are the questions I'm going to ask. So I just want one person to give me like 1 of each. So that's essentially, I don't know, 8 to 10 blanks. If I look at this first one, I'll do the first transversal because I think that can be hard to see. So I see that 1 and 12 are right here. They're formed by these lines. The lines R and L and M form those 2 angles. I don't need T at all. He doesn't make any change to my graph. And a transversal is 1 line that crosses 2 or more other. So in this case, the 1 line that crosses 2 other lines is line R. Okay, so I did the transversal. Hopefully that helps you for the future. Now, who can help me identify what the angle relationship of 1 and 12 is?
Is it alternate exterior?
It is alternate exterior. Eli, why did you know that?
Because they're outside of like the angles and they're on different like planes. Like the 1 is on the opposite side of the 12.
Good, opposite side of the, yes, the transversal. So they're both on the outside and they're opposite each other. Perfect. Thank you, Eli. All right, what about the next one says angle 7 and 13. So let's find angle 7 and 13. And I need the transversal and I need their relationship. Who can give me one of those?
The transversal is T
The transversal is T. How do you know that, Colin?
because it intersects line L and M.
Awesome. Thank you, Colin. All right, who can tell me the angle relationship? Are they interior, alternate exterior, consecutive interior, consecutive exterior, corresponding? What do we got? Who have I not talked to?
Consecutive interior angles.
Consecutive interior angles. Very good, Lydia. And how did you know that?
Because they were like on the same side of it and they were next to each other.
Very good. They're on the same side of the transversal and they're also on the inside of the 2 lines. Awesome. All right, keep moving. I've got 14 and 10. 14 and 10. I need their transversal and I need their angle type. I haven't talked to Michael yet. Michael, can you tell me what the transversal is? Hello, Earth to Michael. Nope, okay. Maybe someone should text Michael, tell him that he needs to respond if he's gonna be here.
I'm here. I
Oh,
was just talking to my mom.
oh, well, talk to me. What's my transversal?
I don't know.
Okay, the transversal is one line that crosses two others. If I'm looking at number 10 and 14, those are my angles. What's the one line that crosses two other lines to make those angles?
Line M.
Line M, perfect. And that's it. That's all the transversal is. Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Michael. What about my angle relationship? Who can help me with that?
Are they corresponding?
They are corresponding, Caleb. Can you tell me why?
Because they're both in the top right.
They're both on the top right. And this is really easy to see when the angles are like this. So I can see 10 and 14 are both above the line and they're both to the right of the line. Perfect. Very good. Thank you for helping. Now I'm looking at 4 and 9. 4 and 9. What's my transversal? Who can help me?
R.
It's R. Good, Izzy. It is R. And then what's my angle type? It doesn't have to be you, Izzy. It can be if you want, but it could be somebody else. What's my angle relationship, angle type?
Alternate interior angle.
Alternate interior angles. Very good, Abby. Opposite sides, inside. Alternate interior. All right. Now I've got 3 and 8. 3 and 8. All right. Who have I not talked to? What's my transversal? Who have I not talked to?
Is it L?
It is L. Thank you, Chantel. It is line L because R and T are the two lines L crosses. Good. And then what about my angle type, my angle relation?
Would it be like the corresponding exterior?
So it would be exterior, but it's not corresponding because I have them both exterior. What do we call it when they're on the same side of the line?
Is it consecutive exterior?
It is consecutive exterior. Good. Very good. Thanks, Jackson. Consecutive exterior. And Colin, I love that you told me they were exterior. And the minute you know that they're both exterior, you know it can't be corresponding. Does that make sense? That's kind of an easy check. Okay. How do we feel about this? Give me an emoji. Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling awesome. Give me a clapping hands if you're going to need more help. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, awesome. All right, very good. We are going to do one more problem to practice and then we're going to go. This is just like identifying and stuff. So I will talk about this a little bit more tomorrow in person. That might help clear things up. And I will also post this video too if you need a little help to watch that. Or if you want to Zoom me later, I'd be happy to do that. I saw a lot of thumbs up though, so thumbs up to you. Good job. Let's do this first one right here, and then we're going to call it a day. It's the first one on your extra practice, and it says if ABC is 17x plus 8, and ABK is 42, and KBC is 12x minus 4, find x. Okay, let's start by labeling. ABC is all of this. So I'm going to call that 17x plus 8. ABK is 42. So I'm going to write 42 in here. And then KBC is 12x minus 4. Can someone help me write an equation to solve this? How would I find x?
Would you add 42 plus 12x, take away 4, and put it equal to 17x plus 8?
Good. Why do you know that, Ella?
Because the two inner angles measure up to like the total.
Good. These are two little bitty angles and they make the big angle ABC. So we'd add up the two small ones and set them equal to the big one. Awesome. So that gives me 12x plus 38 equals 17x minus 8. I would minus my 12x from both sides to get 5x. Nope. Yep. And then I'd minus 8 to get 46. That's kind of ugly. I hope I did that math right. And then I divide by 5. It looks like I got a decimal. That's okay. The most important thing is that we could set it up. Does anyone have questions on why Ella set them up by adding the two small ones to equal the big one? This is my reminder that nothing goes away, right? We did angle addition back in chapter 1. We're in chapter 3 now, and it's not over. It's not gone. Okay.
Why did it go to 17x minus 8?
Was it plus 8?
Yeah.
That's probably why. Poor copying. Thank you, Nolan. That's probably why it was wrong. Oh, and this makes it look much nicer, right? 38 minus 8 would be 30 is 6. Great. Or you can just make careless mistakes like me and we have to fix it. So thank you for looking out for me, Nolan. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Don't forget there is homework in your Schoology, and then you can bring me a tissue box. So let's get all of those. If you are an exclusive online learner, you can take pictures of a tissue box you make and you're going to use at home, and I will give you extra points there. So I don't want you to feel excluded from that. I'm going to let you have the rest of your day. If you need anything, I'm going to be on Zoom during this lunchtime, or I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.